This is Vancouver, British Columbia, a coastal city in Western Canada, famous for glass skyscrapers, its breathtaking natural surroundings, and, well, rain. Really, lots of rain. But I'm not here today to tell you about Vancouver, a city founded in 1886 that first flourished as a logging community, but then became a vital industrial port when the Transcontinental Railway reached its shores a year later. No, I'm not here to tell you about that. I am here on a different quest. I am on a Ducey quest. Who is John Ducey? Where does he come from? What are his interests? What makes him tick? And where is he going to put this coat? So how do we separate the facts from what's merely legend about John Ducey? Well, looking back at some of his earliest photos, I can see a heart born for adventure, a mind thirsty for knowledge, and a child so excited to take a trip to the beach that he's willing to wear a ridiculous hat and poncho to get there. Rest assured, that was the only photo we found of John in a poncho. Now, interestingly enough, John Ducey spent all of 7th grade living in Germany with his family, and they traveled all over Europe, and yet no photos are available from that time. But using the internet, we were able to track down his 7th grade yearbook photo. This shot of John may explain why further photographic evidence of his adolescence is unavailable. Let's just say he wasn't quite camera ready. Well, there's no question that John Ducey has a desire to learn. He graduated from Harvard University with honors. And detractors will say that he got in there because he could hit a fastball further than anyone else in his high school, but he got the degree nonetheless. So then it was only one cross-country road trip to a life in Hollywood. Once there, he made a name for himself in television, appearing in Desperate Housewives, Will and Grace, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Oh Grow Up, Drake and Josh, Joey, and many others, including his most recent role as the dad of the Jonas Brothers on Disney Channel's original series, Jonas. And his movie, The Search for Santa Paws, comes out this Christmas. So, it appears there is ample proof that John Ducey has an acting career, but what happens when the lights go out? What about this legendary love of games? Well, sure, anyone can be in a fantasy league, but to be in Ducey's, prepare yourself for annual Vegas trips, a season-ending roast where everyone speaks, or, in some cases, sings, and, of course, jerseys, trophies, and, yes, a novelty check. And game nights, sure, they're fun, but Ducey has put together elaborate Survivor-style game nights and day-long events on the beaches of Los Angeles. He once created an entire layout on his driveway so he and his friends could play a live version of their favorite board game. He has created amazing race-style adventures throughout the city and even participated in the local Urban Challenge event, advancing to the national finals in Las Vegas. Now, speaking of Vegas, it's there where twice a year he runs a citywide Olympic decathlon event for his family and friends, where the javelin and the shot put have been replaced by mini golf, race cars, and try to throw the football in the trunk without hitting the ladder. Now, if you invite him to your party, prepare your guests for some competition. In an annual 4th of July event in Montana, he puts the mountain people through their paces in outdoor events, dressed in full costume to boot. Now, does John Ducey like to travel? Well, what other person do you know has taken a picture with his luggage? He's traveled for work, going to Hawaii to work on Fantasy Island, New York City for a role on Damages, and Vancouver for a pair of Disney movies. In between jobs, with trips to San Francisco, DC, New Orleans, Telluride, even as far north as Alaska, there are few corners of this country that he has not set foot in. And the rest of the world isn't safe either. In recent years, he has ventured on vacations to Rome, the Dominican Republic, St. Bart's, Paris, and Nicaragua, though he may have been a little too concerned about contracting malaria from a mosquito bite there. So, is the legend accurate? It appears to be so. John Ducey has an unquenchable thirst for knowledge and adventure. He loves games, and he loves creating and running games for his friends. There is one myth we did find, though. If he ever tells you he's been skydiving, he never got more than 15 feet off the ground. Thanks for watching Ducey Quest. I'm John Ducey.